good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
Our first location now, which just so happens to be a gas station. In Australia, they call it a servo, short for service station. Now, why am I at a gas station? Why am I at a gas station? One of the iconic foods of Australia, a food that is Australian through and through, I'm told, can be found at places like this. I'm talking about the meat pie. Two words that alone, not that funny, but you put it together and it's hilarious. Now, I believe the origins of the meat pie go back to the UK. When I was in London, we learned a lot about this pie full of meat. Again, when I was in London, I tried the top of the top when it comes to meat pies. A meat pie that costs well over $500. Here, it's going to be a different standard. A gas station quality meat pie. Is it still delicious? And is it Australian? Well, let's go inside and find out.
Gas station's food be hitting.
All right, folks, so I'm headed right now into the Ready Express, and I'm hoping that I don't get kicked out. Let's see what happens. Right here is the food section. Here you'll find a lot of the usual suspects, donuts, muffins, but we're not here for that. I'm here for the meat pie. Right here in the hot food case, we have a couple of different meat pies. Up here, we have a brand called Coles, but I'm told, no, this is what we want. 4 and 20. I'm gonna get 2 for good luck. Also, everyone's looking at me like I'm insane. Who films themselves in a gas station? In today's video, my hope is to understand more about what Australian food actually is. Because last time I was here, all we did was hunt and kill animals and eat those animals. And that was Australian. It happened in Australia. But when you talk about cuisine, food that you find in fine dining restaurants or diners or even gas stations, I'm wondering what Australian food is. Right here, we have perhaps the most iconic brand of meat pie you'll find in Australia. On top, it says, the Great Australian Taste. My friend Andrew, who is Australian, sent me a voice text talking passionately about this food.
Bro, you gotta do one of these 4 and 20 meat pies. Every Australian grows up eating this particular meat pie, and it's pure trash. Like every other meat pie is pretty good, but 4 and 20 is total dog shit. And it's like the most recognizable Australian pie.
He also wrote, prepare for
trash
instant
is
diarrhea. So, thanks for the tip, Andrew. Now, here's the thing. It's not even in some kind of a tin dish. It's just pure pie. Let's give it a shot.
Big bite.
It looks like dog food, but it tastes at least twice as good. And I've had dog food, so I would know. Some people say, oh, Sonny, you grew up white trash. How can you be a food critic? Well, I can at least compare stuff to dog food. Let's break this open and really see what it looks like on the inside. Oh, that's a beauty. My friend Andrew said prepare for diarrhea. What do you mean prepare? It's already in that shape. That said, it is beefy. You pull it from the hot box, and it's the same consistent temperature all the way through that big meaty pie. So this is my first taste of Australian food right here. Is this a good omen of things to come? Let's find out. Boom, we have come to our second location of the day. Behind me, a place called Hector's Deli.
Before we go to the second location, what you thought about that meat pie, that Australian famous childhood dish?
I would try it. Hold the diarrhea, but I would try it.
Yeah.
That's where we from. Gas station foods be popping. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
Yeah, we sell our soul food at a gas station.
Something called a toasty. What I believe they do is bake bread and then toast that bread. We're gonna go inside now to see how the toasty is made and hopefully get some answers to the question, what is Australian food? Can you define that?
Ooh, I think we're pretty lucky to be such a melting pot of cultures in Australia that we're lucky enough to just always take the best attributes of any kind of food culture and somewhat make it our own with our beautiful produce that we have here in Australia.
In doing research for coming to Australia, I learned that the toasty is one of the iconic foods. But what is a toasty?
It's a toasted sandwich, 2 pieces of bread, generally cheese to bind together some protein. The chefs here today are just putting together a mushroom melt. We've got a mushroom mix of cut up portobello mushrooms. Underneath we've got 2 types of cheese, and then we've got our in-house made hectic sauce.
I've never seen so much potential deliciousness laid out in this way. But today we're going to be focusing on the ham, cheese, and tomato. Let's get to that now. Boom, right now I'm with Chef Joe right here. We're about to get started on this ham, cheese, and tomato toasty.
So we're going to begin by buttering our bread. We're going to put that face down.
Oh, wow. All right, butter's going face down.
So we're going to start with our tomato relish.
In a traditional toasty, would the tomato be an actual slice of tomato?
Yes, it would. I have a pretty averse reaction to hot slices of tomato. It goes really soggy and incredibly hot. So that's why we use the tomato relish. Next, we've got our mozzarella, the provolone. I'm then going to season our cheese, flake salt, white pepper. Lastly, we're going to go on with our mortadella.
What is mortadella?
Mortadella is an Italian sausage, so it's a pork mince, and then they fold pork fat through it to give it really nice, rich texture.
Fancy, I like it. So the butter side is coming back up. You've got butter on the outside, all those fillings on the inside.
And we're going to put that down, and we're going to sit it close to the lid.
So I've never seen something like this, where it's clear, the heating element is on the inside, you can see through to it. I've never heard of essentially making a melt on hot glass. Amazing how far sandwich technology has come here in Australia. 6 minutes has passed, and this is the final product. It is indeed looking very toasty. Look at the color on that.
So it's kind of sandwiches down the middle. And finally, little chef's kiss.
Oh, that is a very nice touch. Ooh, and that's why they call it a toasty. All right, folks, right here we have our second food of the day, the toasty. In fact, 2 different toasties. So this is more the modern version of a classic toasty. Let's give it a shot. That's right. Here's what I like about Jono. We're talking about the toasty. He says traditionally it has tomatoes. We don't use tomatoes. Traditionally though, it has ham. We don't use ham. So what is this actually? Well, it's something unique to Hector's Deli here. But let me say, there's nothing disappointing here. The meat, definitely not ham. It is much more like a bologna, but you know, somehow, since it's inspired by European meats, it feels more fancy. There's something about bologna in the USA that always comes with a little bit of sadness. It's too perfectly tubular. Food shouldn't have perfect geometric shapes. Meanwhile, here we have this nice thinly shaved bologna. This is bologna for the 1%. Let's give it another shot. Very cheesy. Beyond that, the relish. I would say the relish is both savory and pretty sweet. It kind of feels like the type of sandwich you would eat as a kid, but here they've made an elevated version of that. So that is the toasty round 1, but we still have this remaining right here. This is the beef and pickle. Joe, tell me about this.
So a light rye bread, buttered both sides. On the inside, we have a sweet pickle relish, some high melt cheese, sauerkraut, and then really nice, really smoky pastrami.
Looks amazing. Let's get to toasting. On to our final toasty. Let's give it a shot. I like it. Very delicious. It's interesting he compared it to a Reuben. To me, it's more like a Cuban sandwich. Inside, you have cheese, you have beef, but then you've got big, thick pickles, and you have kind of a sharp mayonnaise-y, mustardy sauce. I think from one toasty to the next, we have stepped up. This is an explosion of flavor. There's so much sauce. It's sour, it's savory, and it's got a little bit of heat. It's very nice. So this is round 2. I gotta say, this is a big step up from where we started. I'm getting excited, and I'm starting to get more of an idea of what Australian food really is. But let's keep moving.
Now, as cliche as sandwiches are, you'd be surprised on how much flavor be in them joints. We came across the flavor inside. I know we're in Australia, right? But we gotta talk about it. We was in South Africa and we had a sandwich dish that we ordered. It had like so much flavor in it.
Oh, it was called Capri something.
We
gotta remake that.
It has to be made. Like, so if this is one of y'all faves right here, let us know which one out of these that he ate was y'all favorite. Put in the comment section. And y'all know we do other types of videos too. I ain't gonna put out too much, but just let us
Give us some
know.
recipes.
Yeah, there you go. Give us some recipes.
Boom, we've come to our third location. Right behind me, a little pub known as the Birmingham Hotel. In this pub, they're serving something called Parma. So what is a Parma? Well, to me as an American, it kind of looks like a chicken Parmesan. So what is the Australian take on this classic dish? Let's go inside and find out. I'm in the back with manager Mitch right now. Mitch, I have a lot of questions about the Parma, but first, I want to ask, what is Australian food?
Look, that's almost impossible to answer. It's oily, it's healthy, it's all kinds of things that we've stolen from other cultures and immigrants and different families that have moved here. But I mean, there's food that goes back thousands of years with our Indigenous people as well. We're very good at appropriating other people's food ideas.
Today I'm coming here for the Parma. Why do you think some people consider this Australian food?
Well, again, along that appropriation theme, there's a couple of versions that have evolved over time. It started in Italy with an eggplant dish. Then I think the Italian immigrants in the United States came up with their chicken parm. But our version is kind of an amalgamation of all of those along with a schnitzel. It's kind of like a sandwich that you eat with cutlery. It just ticks every box.
Mitch, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now let's head into the kitchen. Boom, we are in the Parma kitchen. I am with Tusil, and he is a Parmacist. Yes?
Yes.
Here, what's special about this place is they are crumbing their own chicken. So right here we have some lightly seasoned, pre-measured, pre-portioned chicken breasts. Take it away. Oh, step one, dredge it in the flour. After the flour, it heads into the egg wash, and the egg wash is seasoned with salt and pepper. Finally, the breadcrumbs go on top. Our next step is putting all of these glorious parmas into the oil. So right here we have our chicken that has been breaded. It is now time to transform this into the classic Australian parma. Let's go. Step one, their Napoli sauce. It goes on top of the chicken. From here, ham. The ham is lightly smoked. And then underneath, their signature cheese mix going on top of the parma. From here, it is gonna head into the oven where that cheese is gonna melt and it's gonna get all delicious. Time has passed and it looks like we have our final product right here. Look at that, nice color, a little bit golden brown on the edges. The cheese has melted all the way through. He puts it on a plate with some chips and a salad. He hits it with some parsley and that is finished. Parma, let's get into it. This is a food that's a little confusing. It reminds me of being in Germany eating schnitzel. That said, I used to work at a very fine dining establishment known as Applebee's. We had something there called a chicken parmesan and that was chicken that was breaded with a marinara and cheese. That's it. Here, their classic traditional version most resembles that. Look at that. Juicy chicken breast, all of it beautifully breaded. And I gotta say, it looks more juicy than I expected. Let's give it a shot. Oh, there's so much happening there. First of all, the sauce, extremely savory, full of flavor, tastes like delicious Italian food. The ham adds a hint of brininess to the overall flavor. It makes it more juicy, it makes it more flavorful. I like it. Susil is quite the parmacist. But this is the more classic version of parma here in Australia. Then they have this. This is parma on a whole new level. Let's take a little bit of a tour. Right here, we have the Hawaiian parma.
Basically just your classic parma with those classic Hawaiian ingredients, such as ham and pineapple.
And then right here, this is their crunchy parma.
It's got hot sauce, Frank's hot sauce, and potato gems, or as you would call them, tater tots.
I'm sorry, what did you call it? Potato jam?
Potato gems, yes, look at them. They look like they're little gems of potato.
Potato jam? That sounds way fancier than tater tots. And then we go over here to Australian parma. I thought parma is already Australian. Why call it the Aussie parma?
I mean, you can never make it too Australian, can you? Very similar to an Aussie pizza, which
I understand it, y'all. Like with the egg on it, like it just gives it class. You know what I'm saying? Make it fancy, fine dining. Do you prefer it with the egg yolk on it like that?
Who? Nah.
Me either.
It don't look cooked all the way. Like I like it.
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I'm not like the egg type to put egg on like
with chicken.
Different dishes
and sauce.
Possibly, yeah.
It's a lot of flavors.
I don't know. Never took it there before.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Then there's this one right here. That, my friends, is the Mexican parma.
Instead of a Napoli sauce, they make a bean mix, chuck on some guacamole, some sour cream, some jalapenos.
I'm sorry. Have you ever seen a Mexican in Australia?
Not lately.
I don't know if I can try all of these. Let's try the Mexican one. I mean, this is pretty different. There's no marinara. They're going with beans and some classic Mexican toppings. Let's try it out.
They're trying to cater to everybody.
Very nice. Anytime you're working with a good base, it's hard to mess it up. The chicken itself is already fantastic, so dare it to say, I feel like they could pile almost anything on top of there, and it's gonna be good. Here, the beans do a good job of replacing the marinara. It's cheesy. There's guacamole. I feel like I'm eating fried chicken nachos. What's fun about this food is it's just like a complete clash of cultures. It's a little bit Mexican, it's a little bit Australian, it's a little bit Italian, it's a little bit American, it's a little bit of everything. It's confused, but at the same time, it makes sense. I'm gonna try one more. Guys, do I try the cowboy Australian one, or do I try the Hawaiian one? I think we go Hawaiian. Canned pineapple. Let's go. Juicy, fruity, sweet. Pineapple going on pizza is one of the most controversial things you can do with pizza. You think America is polarized now with politics. Pizza is what's really driving the country apart. There are the people who absolutely think pineapple on pizza should be abolished. Meanwhile, I went to Gordon Ramsay's pizza restaurant in the UK, and he has a Hawaiian pizza. I think to stick it to all the critics. So this is our third location. I feel like we're building momentum, but we have so much more to see. Let's keep moving. Parma, it is time to switch up our proteins. We are moving from land animals to fish from down under the sea. Behind me, a
course,
fish and chip
of
shop.
course.
I know what you're thinking. Wait, isn't fish and chips British food? Well, it is. It started there, but then it moved here, and they made it better, I hope. Let's go inside and see how they're making fish and chips in Melbourne.
Welcome to Carlisle Seafood, opened in 1907. It's the oldest fish and chip shop in all of Melbourne. 21 years ago, it was taken over by a Lebanese family. But even though the owners have changed, they've kept the original recipes, the classic architecture, and the long-standing traditions alive.
Boom, I am in the kitchen right now with Hannah. You're originally from Lebanon.
Yes.
For you, how would you define Australian food?
It's literally impossible to explain Australian food because there's like so many cultures and so many things.
So let's get into the fish and chips. Tell me, what is the difference between British fish and chips here in Australia?
Over here, we use gummy shark. That's everyone's go-to. In Britain, they serve fish and chips with mushy peas, gravy. Over here, we just sell fish with chips and a salad.
So two big differences. I mean, the type of fish is huge. Why are folks here using the gummy shark?
It's the least fishiest taste. It's the cleanest and it's really tasty.
Amazing. Let's get into some cooking. So right now I am with Hannah's father. This is Jimmy, and Jimmy has some fish right here. So this is the gummy shark. This is the fish I'm going to be trying shortly.
First, Jimmy starts by filleting the gummy shark, cutting
Look like
into thin
catfish.
slices. Then he dips each piece into their homemade batter and drops it into the fryer.
Jimmy tells me these are the crunchiest fish and chips in all the land.
Next, Jimmy prepares the potato cakes. Thin slices of potato coated in batter. Together with the french fries, he lowers it into the oil.
And last we have our fish and also chips all together in one fryer.
Alongside the gummy shark, I'll also be trying their barramundi fish and chips.
All right, so right here we have our chips and potato cakes. He's gonna throw some into each of these boxes right here. He's gonna hit them with a little bit of salt, then the flake, hit that with even more salt, and a couple lemons on the side. Over here we have the barramundi that's just come out of the hot oil, and that's gonna get thrown on top of those chips. Hit it with a little bit of salt.
And that's how we make our fish and chips at Carlisle Seafood.
All right, folks, meal 4 here in Australia. When I see fish and chips,
And we
I
love
think
that,
this
though.
is like
we're
the
gonna pause
ultimate.
it for a minute. Portion size is important. I can't go eat and get a little of the experience. Like, load my plate up. Found a spot where they would serve a whole bucket of fries, and then they would hit your fish on there, big old fish. I'm like, that's a good feed. That's some good eating for the price it is.
Right, right. Let me feel some value in them prices, okay? Like it's worth it.
Comfort food. It's like, are you happy? Eat fish and chips. Are you sad? Eat fish and chips. Did you just gamble away your family's life savings? Eat fish and chips. Almost any scenario you can think of, fish and chips should follow.
Sponsored by Fish and Chips.
What's really interesting about eating this is they're using shark. I've eaten shark plenty of times before, but I've eaten it in dishes that were a little bit more rare. But here, what they call flake, it's what they're using all the time for fish and chips. Beyond that, it's also about this right here. These are big fat chips like I've seen in London. Let's give one of these chips a try. That's pretty good. This is the best version of British chips I've ever tried in my life. It's actually crunchy on the outside, and then it's like mashed potatoes on the inside. This is really impressive, but that is just our first potato option of 2. Right here, we have the potato cake. So it's essentially like a big flat French fry. Let's give it a try. Very cakey. It's almost like a gigantic steamy potato chip. It's got a ton of crunch on the outside. Then on the inside, it's so satisfyingly steamy. This is really excellent. All right, let's get to the reason we're here. The gummy shark. They say it lacks bones. It doesn't even have teeth. That sounds perfect. Oh my Lord, that looks nice. Let's go. I love how crunchy it is. So oily, so crunchy, so satisfying. The fish itself is not mushy, it is flaky. That said, he's really pushing the fact that kids like this because it's a very neutral taste. I gotta say, it's true. You can tell that the protein is there. You can taste that nice crunch, but the fish, no real flavor. So I wanna give it a bit of a dip in here. Let's give it a shot.
Fish and dip.
Almond love is so crunchy, and then it's the perfect vehicle for that tartar sauce. You put it all together, absolutely delicious. But then we have this. This is a fish known as a barramundi, a very common fish off the coast of Australia. The barramundi, he said, it's going to have a lot more of a fishy flavor. It's going to be a little bit more potent. But again, this is something you're not going to find in the UK. When I was in London, you could get cod, halibut, and that was about it. If you're making fish and chips with a completely different fish, it's going to be a completely different experience. So let's try it here with the barramundi. First of all, the shape of the fish is much different. It's very big and very wide. Let's give it a shot. This one, I gotta say, it's got a better bite. You can see, not mushy at all. It really can take some abuse. It's less flaky, it's more robust, and it's got a better bite to it. That said, if I had to pick a favorite, I would say I like this one because it doesn't have bones, but this one, the texture, the flavor, it hits different. I really like the barramundi. Now, the ultimate question is, who is doing fish and chips better, London or Melbourne? I gotta say, the scales are tipping towards Melbourne. Here, it's more crunchy, it's more flavorful, and it's an overall better experience. That said, we have one location remaining. Let's move.
Okay. So, in Australia, right? If we was to go to a shop, another shop, not this one, and it said fish and chips, are we expecting fish or are we expecting shark? Like, is shark are y'all okay with getting shark instead of fish? Because as a tourist, if I'm going somewhere and it says fish, I'm expecting fish to be on the menu. But it seems like this is like a known thing that it's shark at this restaurant.
Mainly shark. Like, I get what you're saying, because we do bass, gar, things of that nature, catfish.
And I know, like here,
we don't usually have shark as one of those top
to substitute.
Yeah, like one of those top bought dishes.
All right, like here, some stores and restaurants would substitute catfish for swai. Is it swai? Swai fish. Yeah,
you saying right. Yeah.
And like, no, I want some catfish.
Our salmon.
Yeah, I don't want that. I want catfish. Yeah, so that's.
When I think Australian food, I don't typically think halal food, but at our 5th and final location, we are trying out just that. Behind me, prawn kebabs, or should I say kebabs, because that's how people say it here, which is fun, because it's distinctly wrong. Kebab. Here they've created a halal dish that is unique to Australia, and they call it the halal snack pack. How does it work? What's inside of it? Well, let's go inside and find out. Boom! I am in the kitchen with the owner of Prahan Kebab, Saeed.
Hi guys.
You're from Hyderabad?
Yeah, I'm from India, Hyderabad.
Meanwhile, this is like a Turkish kebab shop, and you are making Australian food.
Yes, I am.
I love it. This city's all over the place. First of all, let's talk about the halal snack pack.
So this was invented in mid-2010. Some people say it was invented in Sydney and some people say it was invented in Melbourne. It's a fusion dish, Middle Eastern meat and then the fries.
What time of day are people eating this most?
So mostly after the night out. We got all the nightclubs and the stuff in here.
So after some very non-halal behavior, people want to have a halal snack pack. Is that right?
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
It is time to try out the snack pack. Let's get to it.
We start by frying up a fresh batch of French fries. Then we move to the meat racks.
Wow. Look at this device.
He slices thin sheets of lamb and lays them on the flat top, letting them crisp up even more.
Ooh, that is looking nice.
Next comes the chicken.
I was saying I could use that on my face, but actually I could use that on my stomach. Just a couple layers.
He chops the meat with a spatula, breaking them into smaller pieces and mixing the two together.
Chips are ready. They head into the stainless steel bowl, and he hits it with some chicken salt. Oh, so that is going to go inside of our lunchbox here, and this is going on top of the French fries. Next, he piles on the meat. Wow, literally a mountain of meat.
And finish it all off with a shower of 3 sauces: garlic, chili, and barbecue.
Oof, this is a sauce lover's dream.
That's how we make halal snack pack at Prahan Kebabs.
All right, folks, listen. By the end of this video, I'm going to be telling you which of these Australian foods should be exported to the USA. But first, we have a snack pack to eat, and this is my kind of snack pack. What's interesting about this is all the ingredients are familiar. It's all food you've seen before, but just in a different shape. It's like I can taste it already. Let's try grabbing some French fries from that base layer. Oh, there it is. The cheese is indeed melty. Let's give it a shot. Oh yeah, French fries, incredible. Very good base. Beyond that, the cheese, gooey, melty. But already, even though I didn't really get meat in that bite, I'm tasting the juicy animal oils dripping down onto the fries. That's pretty good. Let's hunt around a little bit more here in the corner. Oh my gosh. A combination of chicken, lamb, fries, tons of sauce, and cheese. This may be the most flavorful bite I've had all day. Let's go for it. This thing is sauced to the gills. It is so full of flavor. It's hot, it's sour. Then there's the garlic, it's creamy. It's got a nice tang to it, but all of that sauce is on that juicy, succulent meat. Poutine, see your way to the door. You're no longer wanted, you're no longer needed. This is the new French fry-based drunk food in town. Halal Snack Pack doesn't judge when you drink a beer. It doesn't judge when you have a little bit of pork. Halal Snack Pack doesn't mind if you have premarital coitus. It's not telling anybody. As Australian folks might say, it mops up the slop. I've never heard that expression before, but it kind of makes sense. You know, with all the foods we've tried today, I'm not surprised that this is a new, beloved, eagerly adopted creation here in Australia. People in Australia, they like to drink, they like to have a good time, they like to go to the pub. Back in the day, after drinking, folks were relegated to just getting meat pies from gas stations. But for about the past 15 years, this has been on the menu for Australians, and I can see why they absolutely love it. So that is our 5th and final food of the day. I came to Australia to mock these people.
All right, yeah, we're gonna separate that, man. Make sure you guys go check them out. I don't know, out of all of these dishes, surprisingly, I would go with the sandwich first.
I was thinking of the sandwich too.
I would go with the sandwich first. I want the sandwich first.
I love paninis, so I think I would really like the sandwich, but I like this one.
Yeah, that's hard. I'm checking them all out firsthand.
We can share it.
Yeah, but the sandwich, I need that one.
Yeah. Well, I think this video just shows us how diverse the culture is in Australia. Now, we did do his videos with the Aboriginals and their foods. So I wonder if there's like a fast food restaurant or like a quick, grab and go restaurant that features Aboriginal food as well. But just let us know, if somebody was in y'all neck of the woods, where would y'all want them to go? Let us know down in the comment section below. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.